Hello and welcome to Scrapping on the Fly. My name is Kristen and I'm here with our Sunday Scraplift Crafternoon with me and some of my friends who get together and are inspired. So we scraplift a layout. And I'm also adding that with Baby Got Scraps because I still am working on getting those used. And today we are scrap lifting one of our own in celebration of her birthday this month, Isabel with Isabel Scraps. And so that was her layout, and I have decided to use Paige Evans' Bungalow Lane. My mission is to use this washi up. Now, I should have shared with you all the layout that I created for my design team layout for scrapbooking the day away, because I used a ton of that washi to make background paper, and it really looked great, at least in my opinion. It's pretty. This is all I have left. I have like 3 sheets of paper other than the one that you're going to see here, and then these stickers and a few pieces of ephemera, and that's it. I do get some more things used up on this layout, not as much as I would want, but I knew going in I wasn't going to use much. That's the scraps I have other than some branding strips, and I'm going to use those to make tags, plus there's a couple tags in the ephemera kit. And I wasn't sure. I'm only using one of these papers because that's the rules with Baby Got Scraps, but I wasn't sure exactly what this oval was going to look like when I was done. I'm documenting this picture of my family on Thanksgiving 2017, and I am going to use these Prima flowers to make the floral little frame that Isabel has, or something similar to what Isabel has, and I cut that out on my Cricut. So I have my papers, my cut file, my ephemera. I'm hoping to use the washi on that cut file, but we'll see how that goes. Who knows? So I have all this stash that I need and this awesome layout. So let's see how this goes. So first things first, I put a little bit of Nuvo Deluxe on here so that the washi is going to stay. And I put the washi down, and unfortunately the way that I put it on, I put it kind of straight on instead of at an angle. So when I started wrapping it around, it wasn't going anywhere. It just was making a big spot right in the very beginning. So I decided to just lay the washi down, and then I'm going to tuck some of it around and then trim the rest of it off. So that way I am getting that green color that I'm wanting, because I am using, flowers and everything that have some greenery with them. And I just want this little oval frame to have that same color pattern. So I made sure to put enough layers on to where you can't really see the white showing through as much. In certain parts you can definitely see it right now, and so I think I did a few different layers. So I'm not gonna make you watch me do that whole thing, but then I trim that off, and I don't know how long it took me to do, because like I said, I fought with it for a few minutes, and I was a little concerned that I was gonna have to recut that. I cut that off of an 8x11, which is acceptable for Baby Got Scraps. You're just only supposed to use one 12x12. My original plan was to turn it this way, add the florals at the bottom. That way I'd have a little floral something at the top, but I changed my mind. But I did decide to use this lighter color. I felt like it stood out a little better. I am going to ink the white part where the flowers are and that oval, the outside of the oval. So I first get Stormy Sky out, because there is some blue in this collection that I'm going to use, and there's no blue in the flowers really, except for one, the Prima flowers. So I decided I would add a little blue to the flowers to give it a little bit of that. So I use Stormy Sky, and I start with my big blending brush just to kind of get a little color in those middle pieces, but because it's such a thin cut, I end up getting my dauber out and doing the rest of the blue. And then I have some leftover like limey green on my dauber, so I ink that around, and it may actually have been a yellow. I ink that around first and then go through with the bundled sage maybe. And my little foam thing came off. So my fingers were covered in green, so I just went ahead and went with it. So I feel like it's almost the same color. Now, of course, you're not going to be able to see that because that's the part that gets covered up. But if it had peeked through, I didn't want it to be white. I wanted to add some color, and it's a pretty close match to the color of the washi, actually. So then I took some of that bundled sage and just smushed it onto this scrap of white paper that I'd cut into a 4 1/4 by, I think it's 4 1/4 by 6 1/4. And I just want to make sure that it went as far over to the sides as it could, because I'm going to put my picture there and mat that now. Isabel has double matted hers, and I was going to do that, but the colors that I was working with, nothing was going to fit, and I didn't want to cut into a full sheet, and I really wanted I didn't want it to have any more dimension than these flowers are going to give it. Look at my fingers. I've washed them off so I don't get ink all over my pictures, but you know, they stain a little bit. It'll go away in time. I won't look like I've got some kind of mold on my fingers. I am going to the doctor tomorrow. I have a feeling my doctor will be like, excuse me? At least it's not blue to where she'll think I have poor circulation, right? So now that I have gotten that done, I am going to lay this down, and I'm trying to eyeball lay it down as centered as possible. But once you lay that glue down, yes, you can move it some, and I didn't want to put, smush it down and smear, because if it had ink still drying, then it would have got all over me. So I put this piece of chipboard down and pushed it down with that. That way it did not smear ink everywhere. And I didn't get glue all over my hands or anything. So after that, look, I think that's pretty close to centered. I think it's a little bit over to the right, which is okay because the left side's where the tags are going to go. But I think, considering I eyeballed it and did it kind of quickly, I'm pretty proud of myself. So I'm creating tags, and you may think I'm creating 5, but I'm really not. I want to use this pretty pinky peach, which is the background paper, but it's going to disappear into the page if I use the same pattern. So I used another one of the same paper, but flipped it because it's that brown, which, I'm sorry, brown's not normally my color. And that paper that I use is not attractive at all. That's why I let it be the border and then added that peachy pink, the pretty flower from this background paper. So I'm just kind of figuring out where everything's going to go and trying to make sure I have things where I want them. The flowers were fighting with me for a little while. I do end up bringing in the yellow ones because there is yellow in this collection, and I'm going to use some word phrases that have yellow in them. Not spot on the same color, but I'm fine with that. I mean, they're not... Well, they're kind of right on top of each other, but not like, anyway, I don't care. I think that it turned out great, and I was very, I did a lot of crazy things with this layout. I don't do a lot of floral, and this is in-your-face floral. I am going to do a facing page with the rest of the Thanksgiving from 2017 and use Bungalow Lane because there's a lot of things on here. I think I'll do like a grid layout. I think I have 6 little 3x4 pictures, so I think I'll do a grid layout. Who knows, that might be, no, I won't do it for a Baby Got Scraps because I don't have any more scraps except for the branding strips, because what I had in the bigger pieces I used to make those tags. So, anywho, I am just going through here and trying to figure out where I want to place them. I don't want it to look like it's a pattern necessarily, like brown, white, yellow, or anything. I just kind of wanted a brown, white, and yellow on either side. And then that, the one I put in the middle has got a hint of purple, which there's no purple in this, collection. But I'm okay with that because it's got like a brown color, and then of course the yellow in the middle. And I just wanted something a little bit different. Plus, I didn't want to bring something in that was totally different. And then I brought in those, the little white flowers made with love by Magnolia, I think is what that says. And I think they're so cute. They're paper. The other ones, you know, are typical Prima flowers, but those Magnolia ones are like paper, but they have glitter on them, you all. Glitter. So not only did I use washi, which I rarely use anymore, I need to, I've got to get it used up. I also use twine. I used glitter accidentally because it's on those magnolia flowers, and ink. I use all sorts of stuff on here. I was messaging my friend and I was like, I have gone crazy. I've lost my mind. I am creating with washi and glitter and all these things. So, but it's okay because it ends up turning out really good, and I love the way that it looks. I pull out the things that I want to use. I decided to title it Wonderful Home. Instead of something Thanksgiving related, I do bring out a Thanksgiving sticker and tuck it on one of the tags. She's got words and stuff on her tags, or a little, like a flower. I did not do that. I do put a little thing on there that says something about Thanksgiving, but that's really about it. But then I use these foam thickers that say Wonderful Home, and then I put one up at the top that says Feels Like Home, and it does kind of blend in, but I'm okay with that because I really didn't want to take away from the picture or the floral wreath, really is what it is. So if I wanted to, I could outline that in a darker color, but I honestly just wanted it to be up there and add a little bit more. I considered putting it here, but I'd have to lay it on top of my child, who is kind of already in the dark in that bottom left corner of the picture. So I thought then I'd add some Tim Holtz, and then I pulled out my Carpe Diem because there's some word phrases in there, and I thought maybe I'll find something there. And then I also have this one that's got the days of the month, months of the year. Oh, bless. And I thought I might find something on here, and I did. And this yellow's more like the yellow in the florals than in the collection, but I'm okay with that because it's far away from the yellow with the word wonderful that has two letters that are yellow, and it says Happy Thanksgiving. And I didn't like how abruptly that ended, so I added this little leafy bit, and it's got some orange in it, which is also in that from on the other side. And other than that, I think that's it. Oh, I tucked in all the rest of those little button things. So I finished that off, and I tucked in the apples. So that's a few more things off of my sticker sheet. I felt like it's food, it's Thanksgiving. I can use apples on this layout, and they go with the colors, obviously, because they're from this collection. So there it is. I wasn't sure how this was going to turn out after I got started because things were going sideways. But in the end, I love the way it turned out. I love this bungalow lane. It's such a pretty collection. I am almost done. I think I have 3 full sheets, then some washi, and a few bits and pieces of ephemera, and then of course whatever I have left over on my sticker sheet and stuff. So I hope you will go to Isabel Scraps YouTube channel and check her out. It will be listed below, as well as all the lovely ladies who usually Isabel follows along with. So she may be scrap lifting herself, who knows? But they'll be listed below. Have a great day and happy scrapping.